Hello, everyone. This is episode 8 of the Brick the Blitz podcast. Joining me today is Lemnos,
Hello.
and our guest for today is the season 1 Offensive Player of the Year, season 1 and partway to league commissioner, Mr. Dan, Mr. Rarar, GGG, Lil Rarar, was it Dan?
Little Master, dude, back in
Oh,
the
Little
day.
oh, oh.
Master.
Little Master.
Oh my God.
12 years old, man. Good names. Good names.
How did you come up
You're
with
still 12.
Lil Rara?
Uh so the lore behind it is that my brother was Rar and I was Little Rar. So my brother actually played StarCraft. He got me into StarCraft. He was playing StarCraft on dial-up. You guys remember that? Like literally plug it into your freaking phone. So that's when he started playing StarCraft. And yeah, got hooked with it and he made the name and there it was.
So,
The Rar was born.
has your older brother played Blitz before?
No, no, no. He was more of a melee guy. He was more of the, real game besides the use map settings. And that was always about the use map settings like cat mouse and blitz, basketball, all that stuff.
Very cool. I did not know you had an older brother, but it's cool to know. Um, I guess I'm sorry, Dan, you in our most recent tournament hosted by Lem, the Pumpkin
Mhm.
Spice Latte tournament, you guys
Mhm.
came runner up. What were your thoughts on that game, and how was it playing with a drunk Ocho? And I think might have been my first time seeing Gasol play in a more competitive setting. How was the tournament for you guys?
Oh yeah, it was a blast, man. We were all drinking. Our whole entire team was drinking. Me, Gasol, and Ocho. And Ocho got a little litty. I think that was the first time I've seen Ocho aggressive. I kind of liked it, then not liked it. Um, but we had fun. It was a good time throughout. The last game there was a lot of like mistakes that were funny, that were like drunk mistakes. Um, and he kept on saying, he's like, Lemnos is better than me. Lemnos is better than me. He's so much better than me. And I'm
True.
like, you need to get the fuck out of your head. Like, you need to just call. And then he was asking me to go and call plays. But whenever it's Ocho and I on the same team, it's always going to be a good time. But the tournament was great. I think, there's always going to be haters. But for that tournament itself, I don't think haters are warranted. I feel like it was a well-run tournament. I feel like, it was more of a democracy type of thing too, which is good. And Lemnos had good patience dealing with people's alliteration of rules and all that stuff, which is always a good time. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a good tournament through and through.
I would agree. Lem, how was running that tournament? I think that was the first tournament you organized and ran, put together basically all by yourself. What were your thoughts on the tournament?
I think it was good. I unfortunately feel like it was a little bit rushed on my part because I didn't know if I was going to be running it, and I had family stuff to do, and ultimately couldn't uh, do my family stuff because I got sick, and I felt like I was kind of like scrambling. So from an organizational standpoint, I didn't feel that good about it, but I think it went well. It was like I think it was our first tournament that we actually finished in a night. It was
Mhm.
3 games, which is I think valuable because a lot of people don't really like to. Oh no, the multitasking is failing. Um, but yeah, we managed to get it done in one night, which hasn't happened before. I think people appreciate that because it's always frustrating to try to reschedule those games like during the week, and it kind of loses momentum and pizzazz. So I think it was an overall good tournament. Um, I think we had some interesting testing of the tier system. I think it worked out pretty good. The draft style was super fun, I think. Um, yeah, I think it was overall a really good time, and looking forward to your tournament too.
Yeah, it'll
Um,
be fun. My dirty 30 blitz tourney. Does that rhyme? I think it rhymes.
I think it rhymes.
Yeah.
So next
Perfect.
question going into your tournament, are you excited to turn 30? Do you have any thoughts about 30?
I don't really want to think about it. It's gonna be sad saying bye to the 20s. Even though the 20s had some ups and downs, it was definitely a roller coaster. And I feel like right now I'm in a better spot within life, mentally, physically, and all that stuff. But the 20s, I truly think that it shapes you as a person, no matter who you are. Everybody goes through different, dark places or ups and downs within their 20s. If it's within relationships, jobs, living situations, all that stuff. So, but yeah, new chapter. I'll go down to Colorado, go see Danwell, and we're gonna go have some fun in Colorado. So that's what I'm doing for my 30-30 after the tournament.
Have
So
your knees and back started hurting yet?
no. I actually that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to put myself in really good shape because I feel like mid-20s to 30s is when you're truly as a man in your prime, right? Like I feel like 25 to 32, like you should feel pretty good within your body. So been stretching, working out, eating right. I feel like that's slept on too. If you don't eat right, if you don't eat superfoods like blueberries, acai berries, or like good stuff for you, then your body, I don't know, my body doesn't act right if I don't eat proper things, Like if I eat Taco Bell, I feel like a fucking bag of shit. It feels so bad. My body feels so bad.
That's fair. I mean, what I've garnered from this conversation is that I need to exclusively eat blueberries.
Yeah, blueberries, acai berries, bananas are good, potassium, all that stuff. I'm more of a fruit guy though. I don't have that much veggies that I incorporate besides like asparagus, Brussels sprouts,
Yeah, I mean, you strike me as pretty
salad.
fruity anyway.
I'm a fruity guy. What about you guys? You guys like fruits or vegetables?
I'm probably more on the side of vegetables. I feel like fruits are just kind of like a waste of calories sometimes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy fruits, but I feel like I'm getting most of my micronutrients via vegetables.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
both. I like both. I would probably lean towards more fruits, of
Okay.
all sorts, but I actually don't pick and like I wouldn't pick or choose. I think they're both important. Um, yeah, I like both.
Okay. So you got two fruity guys and then a veggie guy.
hmm
Don't make me sing the Veggie Tale song.
What's
Good.
your favorite vegetable then?
Ooh,
Hmm. Hmm.
lemon isn't a vegetable.
Cooked,
I'm lucky.
cooked or raw?
Ooh, whichever style you want it to be.
I think I really like cucumbers. Um,
That was
for
gonna be my
raw,
guess.
Mm, yeah,
and then
you would.
for cooked, it's tough. I really like oven cooked like asparagus, but I also really like a roasted like broccoli too.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both good.
Guys.
For me, I think I'm also a fan of cucumbers, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it just seems to be around most of the times when I'm having a sandwich or when I'm having Greek salad or um, what else goes well with cucumbers? I'm blanking out. But anyways, that's from raw standpoint, but I don't know if it's my favorite. And then from a cooked standpoint, there's this really good Chinese like spicy eggplant dish that I could eat pretty that tastes pretty well, and I have it every now and then. But how about yourself, Dan?
Is a pickle a vegetable or a fruit?
Uh,
I think it's a vegetable, isn't
oh,
it?
I sneezed.
Oh,
Bless you.
bless you.
A pickle.
Technically a
So
fruit?
a cucumber is technically a fruit, but
Yeah.
culinary. Oh no. Culinarily a vegetable.
Interesting. Interesting. Like I said, I love asparagus, man. I make some really good asparagus where I just freaking put some olive oil or avocado oil or whatever the case is on it, and then salt and pepper, put that in the air fryer or even just over a pan, and it's just easy, good, yummy in my tummy. Brussels sprouts too, super duper good.
Oh, they are good.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts are really good. Also, like if we're talking like appetizers, fried pickles, if we're calling pickles a vegetable, I love fried pickles. Fried
Oh,
pickles are great.
so good. They are very
So
good.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
fried vegetable, but I don't know if I'm a fan of them. I know that there's like some sushi tempuras that's come in vegetable, but not
Hmm.
sure. Not sure how I feel about those. But to each their
So good.
own.
Hmm.
But yeah, we were just talking about your tournament, Dan, for your
Hmm.
30th. We
Hmm.
want to share a little bit more. I believe that your tournament's going to be held on the 28th, I think. That's the Saturday, I think. But yeah, since you're hosting it, Dan, anything else you would like to share with everyone listening?
Yeah, it's going to be the 28th. The draft's going to be on the 25th. Only the captains have to be there the 25th. It's going to be at 6 p.m. PST and 9 p.m. Eastern for the draft. And then for the event, it's going to be at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's just getting everybody together. You know, we're going to have another like 2 to 3 weeks before we even get a league game. Um, give people their competitive itch. And just to be honest, I wouldn't rather spend my time with anybody else besides my Blitz Bros and just to go ahead and play a game that we probably don't have that much of a shelf life with. And we just got to keep on doing our bestest to keep on getting new players within the community and to, have fun with the game that we have that just brings so much nostalgic memories and all that stuff. So yeah, it takes literally not even 30 seconds to go ahead and sign up. There's a little different rules. It's kind of like the PSL tournament, but there's no auction. It's just regular randomized snake draft, and then there's a formula, kind of like what we had for the PSL tournament, where there's no tier ones, no tier one and tier twos, two tier twos on the same team, no tier three. I mean, no three tier twos on the same team. We'll see if we have to go ahead and change that rule. We'll see what happens because, if you have a lot of tier twos and not that many tier threes, and, we just need them to go ahead and field the tourney, then we will. And then the NFL playoffs format, OT, which it seems like the league voted for, right? It's kind of what people are voting for is the NFL playoffs OT,
Yep.
which will be a good test for the tournament. Will be a good test for the league. So
Can you guys remind me what the NFL playoffs are? Is it if the first team scores a touchdown, the second team is still able to get the ball and try to match that touchdown?
correct.
Okay.
Yep, and they have to match it. If they don't match it, if they get like a field goal, then they lose. Like they're not going to go for a field goal, right?
Yeah,
So, but if the first team gets a field goal, then the other team can go down,
and score a
and if they get a
touchdown.
touchdown,
They
then they
win.
win. Yeah. Yep. But if they get a
Well,
field goal, then it goes back to the other team.
what if it's a touchdown, and then on that third possession from the team that started with the ball, and they get the touchdown? Do they win it
Game
there?
over.
Game
Yep.
over? Okay.
Yep. Yep. Whoever scores after the first drives, even if it's a field goal, it's game over.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. So gives both teams. Everybody go ahead and let us know in the comments or suggestions or the locker room chat. What do you guys think about the shootout? I think there's mixed reviews on the shootout throughout the league. I know Cuddy wasn't a big fan of it. I feel like offenses that suck ass in the red zone, which I'm not saying Cuddy's do, but when you don't have a red zone offense or red zone plays, it's really tough to do the shootout format. What do you guys think?
I think the shootout format was fun and it can conceivably save time. Because with the NFL rules, you have a maximum of pretty much 10 minutes, I think, and then with the shootout, it can conceivably go on like shorter because you can just get a field goal if someone doesn't score. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll probably be more balanced and favor more well-rounded teams as opposed to just red zone field teams.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
last speaking from like last season experience, like I think we played each other like in that only OT game of last season. It wasn't terrible because we only had, I think, what was it, two possessions? You got one and then we had one and then it was game over because we went for that 2 point conversion. I think if it was like, the shootout with just extra points, that one would be less exciting. But the fact that you could have the option to go for extra point or the 2 point conversion made it more interesting to me. So I would have been fine with the OT shootout, because I remember my original stance was I wasn't too big of a fan of it. But in any case, I do think with the newer QBs and lesser experienced ones, um, the next season maybe it is best to do the NFL style, because we'll see how easily they can move down the field. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
so what's going on with that? I know that you signed up. I signed up for whatever, so whoever can draft me or whatever the case is, and I think you did the same thing.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like it's a rookie season, right? I feel like it's the newer quarterbacks, and then
Hmm.
we just try to go ahead and help them out and have fun doing it because I know quarterback is so more. It takes so much more brain cells. It takes so much more. Um, it
brain
just takes
power.
so much. Oh yeah, it takes so much more brain power and all that stuff, especially if you want to run a fluid offense. And running back and wide receiver, like you're just chilling. And I feel like you can make more bigger plays, like interceptions and force different stuff from the role player position vice the quarterback. What
Yeah,
do you guys think?
no, I agree. Um, I think that this season, I don't. I think half of them pretty much locked into quarterback, so we're guaranteed to see some exciting new play from like Squid, from CJ. Well, sorry, not CJ because I don't know if he locked in. Um, I think Krusty is on the fence right now, whether or not he's going to QB or not. It's always fun to see, what version of Jeff we'll see, in any given season. And I think Squid's really coming into his own QB. I think he still needs to expand his playbook a little bit, but I think he definitely has the edge heading into next season, for the to set the way for the new quarterbacks. I think.
Yep.
And
The only
speaking,
tip. Go ahead,
no, I
Dimitri.
was gonna say the other interesting thing is that actually I'll wait because it has to do with possibly a next topic. So you go, Dan.
Yeah. The only tip that I would give Blue Squid is with his rolling and his rolling patterns. Like he just goes straight back or he goes like up, down in the middle, and then it's all timing routes. So if the route's not open, then he's screwed, right? So my only tip to you, Blue Squid, is to go ahead, have different rolling patterns for your different routes because if you roll the same way for a route, like if you're running a post dip and you roll the same way, the veteran's going to catch on to it, even if we're looking at the mini map and we're going to be like, okay, we know this play, right? And you can put that to your advantage too. You can fake that play into some of the deep, but that's just something, a little tip that I would give you within your quarterback play because I just see you just like go straight back and then you're dead and then you get sacked negative 20 yards or you just throw up a jump ball and it's just those things will lose you games in league, trust me. Trust me, turnovers lose you games in league.
Yeah, and it also gets tough if you like I think a lot of his routes might be like kind of timing routes too. So if someone's expecting them to throw when someone cuts or something, then a defender could be in a better spot than you, but you're gonna throw it anyway. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and something that you alluded to Jeff, something that Jeff does really good is that he moves the wraith really good and he also scrambles the pocket really well. um, but he also has those moments where he just chucks it up as well, right? But if you move, I feel like the quarterback that's going to totally distinguish themselves are the ones that throw the ball away, don't take those sacks, and just get an incomplete pass, or they trust their receiver to go and block it. I feel like there's a couple people out there that you can just throw it, and then you're like, okay, it's a block, and then I have a new down, right? And I feel like that's where we're going to see Wayne, Prism, myself, the guys that usually quarterback. They're going to give that to our quarterbacks. When they go ahead and make a bad pass, then we can block it majority of the time, or even catch it. But
Yeah.
I think another thing a lot of people do, I think I do this, I don't know if a lot of people do it, is I like to throw like a PP that even though it's gonna be blocked.
yep.
But like some people don't actually finish running their routes. They see it might be covered and they run away from it immediately, but they don't like recognize that a blocked pass is it's like all right, you're not gonna get sacked and you actually stop the clock. It's not like the worst thing in the world. So I kind of like throwing the blocks, so that it's like another opportunity. But some people just run away from the Wraith.
Yeah. You do that a lot within posts, and I do that too, where it's just like, okay, well, would I rather take a, incomplete pass here or a sack? Because I'm already scrambling top. There's no way, if they're a good blitzer, there's no way I'm going to get below them, And sometimes if they have like a little inch, Wayne does a really good job on saving the boost for the last second or, managing the boost. There's some receivers out there that do it as well, where you just angle it, and you sometimes can catch those where they're really close.
Yeah, it's true. And yeah, you can get lucky with a wonky spawn.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
taking that ball when the play breaks down on me or the play is covered. I'm taking that ball. I'm tucking it in, and I'm gonna dance with the blitzer unless it's Len. Unless it's Len.
Yeah, it's just me.
Dan's been doing a good job too of getting on me too, so to not let me extend the play. But I think
Mhm.
for majority, I can still scramble. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think those are some good tips for those guys. So just a reminder for everyone that's listening, the captains for next season would be Kite, Jeff, CJ, Sin, Squid, and Krusty. So amongst that list, guys, who do you think will have the best draft?
I think that Squid and Krusty have been doing a lot of work to uh, come up with the best draft scenarios, and I think they are going to be extremely prepared for a myriad of different uh, outcomes. So if their number one choice is off the board, they're already like ready for their number two plan. um, I think people like Jeff, they might know who they want, but they're kind of like wing their strategy. Um, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think Jeff and not Jeff, Krusty and Squid are gonna have some good drafts.
Good choices. Dan, would you agree, or anyone you want to add to that list?
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it's okay. So you got Cressy that's on the fence. You got Jeff that's the quarterback. He's a more seasoned quarterback. Blue Squid, just like what you alluded to, he's growing. He's gotten a lot better. Even coming back from his hiatus. CJ on the fence. Sin Kite's probably going to go ahead and quarterback. But Sin has the luxury of being a tier 4, right? He's the only tier 4. He's the one that has the more money vice all the rest of the players, right? Or is Jeff a tier 4?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff's tier 3?
I think Jeff's tier 3, but the only caveat is that Krusty might lock in at QB to like demote himself to T4
Okay.
to get more money.
Well, that being said, I'm looking at the possible quarterbacks, and I feel like one that slept on is Cheeky Please, Cheeky Wan. And if Sin can go ahead and get Cheeky and then another tier 1 player, because, Cheeky's only a tier 2, and he can go ahead and lock for that. Like, if he can get a Cheeky and a Wayne or me or Prism, like, that team's going to be looking pretty dang good. He's going to have the luxury for that because he's going to have the money, he's going to have the capital for it. And Sin's very passionate for this game as well. But those guys that you said too could be up in the air, man. It's gonna be spicy, just like the pumpkin spice latte tournament was spicy.
Yeah, it will be. I think I was also super pumped when I saw Squid's logo unveiling. Kind of like how the NFL does like jersey unveiling. I thought it was really cool.
Wait, do you mean
Um,
Sin?
Sins,
yeah, Sin.
heavy
Sorry,
hitters. Yeah.
Sin. The Heavy Hitters. Great team name from coming from the heaviest person in the league too. That
Whoa.
man is just so heavy. He just weighs his whole team down with him. Um,
It all makes
but
sense. It all makes sense knowing that he has two dinners a day now. He has one at 5 o'clock, and then he has another one at like 9 or 10 o'clock.
didn't he say something
So,
about lunches too, or is that Squid?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's Squid.
time does Sin wake up though? Is 5 o'clock like his lunch?
I don't think so. I don't
Huh.
think so. I
Interesting.
think he
I
has a
would give
normal life.
Sin some credit though. He's gotten a lot better and he listens. Like he always asks questions and stuff like that to go ahead and get himself better, even though that sometimes he creates this stigma of, that he's really good or whatever the case is, or he's the best tier 5 player, or when he does make a play, you know, you got to stay on business, right? This whole entire community talks shit, so that's good. But he does listen, and I do give him credit for that. And he has gone a lot better, especially within his route running. His route running used to make me literally like claw my eyes out. But I feel like people don't realize that their routes, like if you go ahead and give them routes, especially Lemnos's routes, like Lemnos's routes are very timed based, right? He likes throwing across the field. If you run something that's like way faster or way slower, it fucks up the whole entire play. So I always tell people, just like what I told Sin, play quarterback for a game or two, and then you'll realize like, oh, I can't run that route that fast, even though that seems open to me. Like the quarterback's not expecting it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I think he's doing a good job of learning and picking up kind of stuff like that too.
yeah. I was just gonna say the same thing. He's been playing a lot more QB as of late. Maybe seeing the fence and seeing his options for the upcoming draft. But I think he was also a little bit discouraged last night. But we'll see how things shape up because that's the game of blitz. People has their highs and lows. People get blitzed out. People get frustrated, and that's what makes the game so interesting and unique in its own way. Um, so we talked about like which captains we thought would be the would have the best draft. So who do you guys think would be the best value pickup?
Of the
Hmm.
draft,
Yes.
Need to consult the list that is in media.
yeah, I
So
am looking at the
why?
list right now.
So while you guys look at that list, I'll say the two that I comes to mind would be Romo, because Romo has always been pretty solid back in the day. I know he doesn't have enough time these days to really put in the time to get back to that level, maybe, or maybe he can. But I think he has always been able to play blitz at a good level, and so can he adjust quickly to the new mechanics and the new way of playing will be interesting. And then secondly, it will be Nito. It seems like Nito is a great blitzer. I've seen him firsthand play Obs Dodge and other games, and he's definitely a gamer. He has youth on his side, and I think he'll be a great pickup for anyone that chooses to draft him. And I think he's very motivated to get better at this game as well.
He's a super fun guy too. Like he's super nice, and whatever advice you give to him, he will just soak it all in like a sponge. Um, I think mine. I can't believe you didn't say this. Joseph Smith being a tier 3, and there's quarterbacks he's signed up as quarterback, wide receiver, running back. There's some teams that might not want to go ahead and quarterback, like a CJ, and I know maybe CJ is kind of going on an Ian Smith. But I would say from a tier 3 perspective, Smith can be a steal of this draft, and I do think that I think I know what Levnos is going to pick, so I'm not going to choose Levnos's, but I will say Gasol is also there as well. He's an old savvy vet, and he's kind of getting used to the newer lingo, like the post dips and the V routes, and I think those were kind of the V route and the stairs were kind of used back then, but I think that's something that you just got to relearn. But defensively, like he's pretty dang good at coverage. Like he's learning how to go ahead and cover, and his blitzing, especially within the tournament, it wasn't bad. So I feel like from a tier 4 level, and he's a good locker room guy too. You gotta say the white guys are always good locker room guys. You gotta give them that
Oh my
little
God.
boost.
We've got another
Hmm.
racist in the
I
community.
know. Oh my
Good locker
goodness.
room guys. They boost up the morale. He's a fun guy. Just add that to the list of attributes.
Lunch pail to work kind of
Let's
guy.
Yep. He's gonna work hard.
The workhorse. First in, last out. What else is
Yep,
there?
that's the guy. He's
Uh,
also very communicative. Like he'll respond to you within like 10 minutes. It's good. It's good to have.
yeah. Oh, can't forget that you let him date your daughter.
Yes. He's that good of a guy. Yes.
But for my list, I don't know what the hell Dan's thinking, but I'm gonna be a little bit boring because Wayne already said it. But I've been thinking, I've thought this since the tournament. Um, I think Romo is like a super underdog. He doesn't play a lot right now. He has a young and growing family. Congratulations to him. But he's like Wayne said, he was very good back in the day. He can probably get brought up to speed extremely quickly. He still has echoes of his skill that show. I found it difficult to play against him, so definitely Rum was up there. Maybe Dan was thinking I was gonna say Joe. I think Joe is
No,
is capable.
I,
Oh,
I think he was thinking of Tony.
well,
No,
Tony's a good
Oh,
friend.
neither. I'll
oh,
let you guys speak. Neither, yeah. I remember a different podcast. I've loved us talk about this person, so that's why I thought he's gonna go with this person. But
Oh, I don't
go
know,
ahead.
but I think Joe. But he is limited. I mean, he said he's capable of playing for
uh,
whatever times that he signed up for, but he um he is in general more like a backup because he's not always on. But he is like a very confusing blitzer. Um, he gives QBs a rough time because they don't know what jukes are going to work on him. Um, but he's also pretty good at following directions, and he'll do a route and he will make some tough catches here and there. Um, and he's just kind of like a guy that'll get it done, in my opinion. So really, really appreciate Joe.
I solved the mystery. It was Gurley that Dan was referring to.
Yes, yeah. You were talking so highly about Gurley in one of your podcasts of his blitzing and how it surprised you. And he's back in the game. He's been playing, I think, pretty relatively every time I've been on. And when I've been playing with him, I was kind of surprised with what he had to show too. And he actually listens. So I know
Wow.
Yeah,
some people he doesn't listen to, but
him listening is huge. His defense was always good. It's probably still good. I think he just needed, for me, like he needs to have something on offense that he's got to be able to do. So if he can get his offense up to snuff, then yeah, I think it'd be a good option to put on your team.
I'm just worried that he's gonna not be in the server when the league happens. So, attendance, just like Cuddy, may be the just maybe be the unreliable factor here. But I want to see Gurley play well. I want to see him play again in this league. So we'll see. Does he get drafted and get a find a team that will allow him to showcase his skills?
can we talk about everybody that's on that list right there that we're looking at right now? Can we talk
Hmm.
about what we think the best value for that person is, like the tier? Like if you're gonna draft a person, how are they, like the impact of the team? Who would you choose? Like if you want to go ahead and win, you didn't win the first season, you didn't win the second season, and you want someone, and you're like, hey, I need a tier 1, tier 2 that's truly gonna go ahead and reshape this team. Is there a person out there that you're like, I would like this person on my team to win games?
I will boost his ego here and say Lem.
Yeah.
Lem being able to blitz and cover, so interchangeable, can be your QB if needed, can be your running back if needed. Um, he can do it all, and so he will probably be, in my opinion, overall the best value pick that will also cause some headaches for any opponents that chooses to go against him. Um, Yeah, I think Lem tops my chart, and Lem still needs to, coming off a tourney win, the PSL win, feeling high on himself. So, hopefully that carries into next season and could win another championship. But that's my answer. Lem?
I think for like, it's kind of like a not one size fits all scenario, and I think about this like a lot, like oh what's your, like someone say, oh, what's your type or something like that for like a girl or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't like, I never think like that, because everyone has their own things that benefit them in their most optimal way. So like if you look at the captains list, do I think that Kite is going to play well with Prism? No. Would Prism be, extremely skilled on that team? Yes. So I don't think like Prism's going to be like the best fit for someone like Kite. So I think every captain has their own person that works well with them. Um, so I don't
So,
honestly have an answer for you.
so I was going to
Okay.
ask you if you were Squid and
Mhm.
amongst everybody else. I was going to say Kite, but I think we all know who that answer would be. So, choosing Squid, if you had to choose one player that would complement Squid's skill sets as Squid QBs, who would it be, Len?
I think I think for his skill sets, I think it would have to be someone that's like similarly communicative, um, and similarly motivated. So I know Squid is on like fairly often. He wants to like go look at like plays and understand some stuff better. So I think someone like Dan would be actually really advantageous for him, because they talk a lot about strategy and like what the best thing is, and they might have similar outlooks on play styles overall. Um, kind of like double moves and like double moves that go into 90s. Uh, so I think yeah, I think Dan would be a top fit for Squid.
That's my son. We
He is your
treated
son?
Kurt and I. Yes, Kurt and I. We first journey ever. He was just a little baby, and we taught him. We taught him everything. Taught him the ropes. Taught him routes. He didn't know routes. He didn't know how to, do defense or anything. Kurt and I were sitting there in a little practice map of Lambeau Field or whatever it is, and teaching him the ins and outs. Um, yeah, I think he's came way far away, and I think you're right. Blue Squid and I would be a good team. I feel like someone that you can plug and play basically on any team would be Ocho, and I think what Ocho brings to the table is that he just reads things. He just reads things extremely well, and he also is reliable on the offensive side too. So when you bring both of those to the table, like that's really good. And he usually brings good vibes, which is also good as well. So I would say Ocho is probably the best value if I was a captain, looking overall wise.
Yeah, I think you can't go wrong with any of the guys that we mentioned. Um, all right, since we're still looking at this list, how do we say this? Who do you think has the most improved next season? Meaning, like, we all like, we're all here to have fun for sure. So whether you're an OG returning to the game or a new guy just trying to showcase what they got, like, who do you think next season will play with a chip on their shoulder?
I think there's a few. I think there's a few storylines. I think I think Intox, aka Todd Brady, is one storyline because he played with a high flying offense in Finn's world. Some of his numbers might have been inflated because of the style of offense. We know his blitz is like pretty good, but your coverage is also locked up with Wayne and Finn in the backfield, or not the secondary. So I think Intox can have a lot to prove to himself on a team that's not Finn's world. Um, I think another one would be Smith. Smith, he played season one with Jeff and rookie Bixby. So that was two players that didn't know plays. And then season 2, he had a lot of personal stuff going on, so he couldn't really prove himself there. And he also needed time to get back in the swing of things after being on a hiatus. So I think Smith can prove something this season. And my last one is probably Wick, because he's been on one team that made the playoffs, but with a losing
Dan.
record with Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And then last season, he had a great season, but unfortunately no wins. And for someone that has, such a good attitude, good vibes, and good skills, he definitely deserves to be on a winning or championship or close to championship team.
Yep, I agree with all those choices.
Yeah.
Dan, any additional ones you want to add, or
I would say me, dude. I put up all these stats, I do all these things, but I don't win shit, dude. So I would say it's me. And
Still Lamar.
Yeah, well, I think the Synergy Senior season 1, I feel like we had a good nucleus, and then our defense just wasn't up to par when it was WCK, Tony, and myself. But then when Tony was traded, I had 3 new guys. I had Blue Squid was still relatively new. He's still learning the game, and he didn't want to play. He didn't want to go ahead and have a lot of minutes. Sandman was still learning, and then Daniel, which I did start, was brand spanking new. Barely knew anything of the game. So going into the playoffs, going against the Triple T's, that was a tough matchup. And then the next season, trying to go ahead and carry Jeff to a playoff win. That was also a tough one. I felt like I did everything I could possibly do on the offensive side. I feel like my defensive side could have been better within some situations. But I feel like synergy is the biggest thing of Blitz. Like, once that person's going to do what they're going to do, then you can play so much more freely and just play better defense. Do you guys agree with that? Like, if you know what the other person's going to do, your blitzer, your other coverage, even if it's not a called coverage, right? You can gamble a little bit or play more solid defense.
Yeah, no, I think synergy goes a huge way on both sides of the ball, and I think I mentioned it on this podcast probably a couple times. Like, to some degree, synergy outweighs skill level to a point.
Mm-hmm. And another person I would say besides myself is Finn, because if Finn doesn't have Wayne, like, what is he gonna do? Like, he's just been in Wayne's shadow for the past 2 seasons.
Oh,
no. He doesn't play this game. He doesn't play this game, and he's gonna come in, and people are gonna expect him to play like a tier 1. Is Finn gonna show up? Because he didn't show up in the Super Bowl. That's for damn sure. He did not show up in the Super Bowl.
Shots fired.
You hear that, Finn?
Shots fired. Damn sure, Finn. GGG, play R. You know it.
Oh, Finn.
Damn sure.
Finn's not gonna listen to this, so he'll never hear it. But
you gotta clip it for him. You gotta clip it.
I'll clip it for him. Yeah, he'll listen to it if I clip it for sure. But okay, I agree. I like half agree with you, Dan, because I think if you were quarterback, then I would agree that you have probably the most to prove. I think, but since I don't believe you'll be playing much quarterback this season, I wouldn't have those same expectations if you're playing a receiver role. But for sure, you definitely would want to make an impact to help your team win. Finn, Finn, I don't have any expectations from Finn. Honestly, I very well know what he's capable of, even without being on his team. I think what I worry most about Finn, and I think it's like, will he be drafted? Like, I think he will be drafted for sure this season. It's just, I don't know there's going to be much demand. And that kind of makes me feel worried because, let's just say, like, for whatever reason doesn't get drafted. That would be unfortunate to see a player of his skill not be on our team. But anyway, in any case, I do think he'll be picked up. It's just who will pick him up.
Yeah, he hasn't
Yeah.
really been active, which is unfortunate.
The WoW season apparently restarted a couple of days ago, so he's been on that.
Oh my
Hmm.
god.
And
Uh,
still playing Valorant, but he's a tier one. He's one of the tier ones.
Yeah.
So like, if someone is, like one of the tier three captains, which we have a lot of them, or even Sen, like if they try to get a tier one value, and he's not really there, and he's not really practicing with the team, which Finn doesn't usually, right? It's like, hey, this is you don't got Wayne, you don't got the Wayne connection anymore. What are you gonna do? You've had the Wayne connection for the past 2 seasons. It's just like the Triple T's. What are the Triple T's gonna do? Is Sin gonna go ahead and draft the Triple T's again? That'll be interesting.
I'll
But what
say
are the
that
Triple T's gonna do without each other?
I'll give any QB that wanted, I mean, sorry, whichever captain want to explore this play. If you can pick up Turkey and Finn, which I imagine you could probably do reasonably, that would be the best package deal you could get for both players. You may not practice at all throughout the season, but they enjoy playing with each other, so that could be a synergy team off to a good start.
Yeah, they'll show up on game day.
They show up by game day and only game day.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, they need a Irv. They need Irv, Finn, and Turkey on one team like that.
Oh, jeez.
And they
What a
basically, what
team.
did Irv have
Portis and
last season?
Turkey and
Portis
Mutan.
and yeah, exactly. They showed up
Yep.
that game day. That's it.
Oh,
Yep.
speaking of, I'm very surprised not to see Portis coming back. He won the PSL tournament with you, Lem, and Krusty. Um, but has anyone spoken to Portis? Like, does he plan to sign up?
I haven't spoken to him. I should reach out to him. He's been tagged here and there. Actually, I think I did email message him once. But yeah, he still hasn't signed up.
Because I think that after that tournament and what we all saw in season two, I think his value may still be underrated, but I think more people are definitely aware of his skill sets that he could bring to a team, even if it's like, if you need a running back or you need a potential fourth man, I think Portis checks all the and can play any position. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's won a lot of pug tourneys, and then also like he won the Labor Day impromptu tourney, and then he won that one, and then he won some other pug tourneys. Yeah, I think he's slept on. He is one of those guys who, if you DM him, it might take him a day or a couple hours, but he will usually do it. So if you DM him with a sign up sheet, he'll usually do it, and he loves Blitz. So poor Port's a good guy.
hmm
For sure.
Go way back.
um, what was the last question we said was? Oh, the player will most approve. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I think all you guys already nailed all the guys. I think. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, Dan, we are at the 48-minute mark. So Dan, Lem, any
Nice.
topics you guys wish to bring to the table?
You go first, sweetheart. I'm nuts. I'm talking to you. Are you still multitasking?
Oh no.
Oh, he's gone.
All right, Dan. I guess
Dimitri's gone.
it's
Just
just
you
you
and
and
I.
I.
The John and Dan show. Um,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we can go ahead and talk about some things. Let's go ahead and talk about the current Blitz meta. Do you feel like there is a Blitz meta happening right now within the Pug games and within the tourney that we just had?
Mm, I guess that's two different things because the 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 PSL tournament meta was freeform,
Yeah,
and
that's true. So I guess pubs. Pubs,
yeah.
what do you see in pubs? And
Well, I would say that the freeform meta was I think we were getting to a good point where I think players are getting more comfortable with it during that tournament. And if you remember, Dan, when we first started playing the freeform formation when it was implemented by Money, it was tough to score or took a long time to score, maybe because we wasted more time clock than usual. It
Mhm.
just felt very low scoring early on. But in that tournament, we saw some relatively high numbers for a 15-minute half game. And
Mhm.
so I, would like to see freeform have its place in a league play someday, maybe season 4, season 5, whatever it may be. But I think Freeform has its place in the game. Um, I think that in terms of pubs, I think the meta is still relatively the same to me. I just feel like more of um, the lesser experienced players compared to the OGs has started to really close the gap. I think now the gap has is
Ooh.
the gap between the OGs and the newer players have is getting really close, getting close between like your twos and your threes, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And then the fours are, as long as they keep playing, they'll be close enough to the threes. And so I think it's good. We're in a good spot in terms of skill level. I think we just need to see more different players join the community for us to really see how far it can go. But yeah, in terms of like who we have actively playing, I think we're at a we're in a good place. Do you disagree?
Um, I disagree defensively, schematically, and for the newer players catching up with kind of the OGs. But I do think like offensively and kind of their skill with going ahead and catching the ball and all that stuff. I think that's like coming up, and then running routes too. I think that's like inching forward. Um, but I think defensively, especially with someone like Crusty yesterday, I forgot it was Smith or myself or me and Smith and Lemnos, and there was two guys. There was one short his side, and there was one deep his side. He was already deep, and I even told him to go ahead and stay deep, and he still went short. I think there's still some guys that still like don't realize that there's just some things that you should be covering, especially if you're looking at your mini map. If you feel like that person, your other person, can't have the angle, then you got to stay with the deep or whatever you think is going to be the route that's happening. So yeah, I think that's still happening with some of the newer players. Well, I guess they're still kind of newer with Crusty and Sin and who's some other guys that are still kind of doing that.
I think Squid
I
still
don't
gets
know.
beat a bit.
Squid, yes, yep. So those guys, I feel like that's just going ahead and still just experiencing it and realizing why, right? And then just telling those players, hey, look at your mini map. You don't have the angle. Like, Prism, Wayne, Lemnos. I think all of us, that's what we do a really good job of is that we reference the mini map. We also like play inside out and take those angles or outside in, kind of like shell defense wise, where if we're like, okay, well, the deep's there, I'll let this 90 happen, but I'm still going to take a good angle to the 90, and I might be able to go ahead and incomplete the pass or tackle him, right? But I'm not going to allow this deep happen. And I still feel like that's what they're learning. But offensively, yeah, I totally agree with you. But I feel like the meta is still like the second moves, and I feel like Lemnos is just fucking abusing the fuck out of it within pubs as quarterback, and he quarterbacks like every single game. So it's the up downs, it's the top hash, 90 crosses, it's all that. That's still like the meta within pubs right now. That I think when it translates to league, when you run stuff like Pax D or Trap or give them different looks, I feel like that's when it kind of goes ahead and truly shows the flaws within the meta of what Blitz is happening right now. And Blue Squid is the same thing. He runs a lot of those misdirection plays. Um,
Hold on. You can't just say misdirection and not mean
CJ.
CJ's misdirection.
But yeah, so I feel like that's the meta right now. Is offensively is just going across because those are hard. If I'm top, if I'm covering top and I have a top hash and they're just 90 and across, if I'm top, I have to cover. I have to truly jump that. And if I truly jump that, I gotta trust my deep to go ahead and cover the post. And that's what Lemnos abuses. That's what Blue Squid abuses. And so it's tough within a pub setting. And I feel like people are just abusing that. Um, but yeah, I feel like that's the meta right now offensively. We're talking about metas right now. What do you think? Do you think there's a meta right now? You stepped away, didn't you? You're trying to get your attention.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what Wayne's doing, but I think the offensive meta has been double moves basically since we got back to Blitz from like shortly after the New Year. For defensive, I don't think there's any really defensive meta right now, except that it seems like people have increased their wraith watching capability, which is super lame.
Yeah, why?
I don't
Why?
know.
Any names you want to drop?
Tony, dude. Tony just sits there and he just like, oh, there's a wraith, and he looks at it purposely, dude. Tony, please stop, please. And he announces it. He announces it too. It's bad. It's bad
At least
for the
he's
game.
announcing it. I mean, I can understand doing it like once in a super great while in a pub for funsies if it's like a game that's gotten away, but definitely don't appreciate it just on like a casual basis. Um, and then Kite is just egregious now. He'll
Oh
literally be
yes.
covering bot and then follow the Wraith to the top. So definitely, I mean, minorly Tony, because I don't think he really does it in league settings or competitive
No.
settings.
No. Yeah. No.
But most assuredly Kite, like, stop Wraith watching. Those are my metas right now.
There's rules, man. Let's throw
Lem,
about it. Let's
Lem,
throw
Lem's
the wraith
gonna
watching
Lem's
and the
gonna
hopping.
Lem's gonna remove your captainship, Kite, if you continue Wraith watching. He's just that type of tyrant.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's also just defenses has always been quite hard. It's not just your own individual defense, but also your whole team's effort. And sometimes you need to draw up or assign schemes to really take a chance sometimes. And of course, during a pub game, we're less likely to see that. So it'll be interesting to see league play next season. Do teams come up with defenses to go at one another rather than just always showcase the C2 stuff? So it'll be interesting to see if the new QBs can handle it.
Yeah. So it's our turn, Limos. When you stepped away, it's our turn to go ahead and bring up topics. I got another topic. You kind of touched on it a little bit, John. Is that freeform? Like, what do we feel about it? How do we like it? How do we like it in the tournament? Why do we think that people don't like it? What's your thoughts of freeform?
I'll answer this first because I might be slightly passionate about it. I think it's truly the direction that Blitz should go in because it is more akin to football. You can do more things. You could call more creative plays. Um, like it's not just like it's not just like a gimmick. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do out of it. I think a lot of people are just old dogs that don't want to learn new tricks, and because it's harder to come up with new stuff when a 90 up down is gonna work, a double post or triple post is gonna work. Like you can call a lot more creative stuff. It lets defensive schemes also be more creative too. Um, I think it's like it's overall like something that was unheard of to even like think like to think of doing back in the old days. It just seems more like football and how football should be. Um, so I think it can be great. The only actual downsides to it are that you can't really type in call plays because it's too long. Um, and then the general play calling, even over a voice, is going to be longer because you got to tell formations for both players.
Yeah.
John, what do you think?
Yeah. I agree with Lem that should be the direction we should move towards. That's why I was kind of Lem, when you stepped away, I was kind of alluding that we freeform should have its place in the league someday, whether it be season 4 or season 5. But I do think that we should definitely try it out. I think it'll be fun. I think the PSL tournament showed that it could be fun. Um, I think that yeah, pretty much what you nailed on, Len, was that old dogs don't want to learn their tricks. A lot of the things I had against it early on wasn't the fact that it wasn't creative or it wasn't worth playing. I think it was the transition because we want League to kind of play at its best, and at that time we weren't ready for it. But I think that PSL tournament showcased that we can be ready for it. Um, and so, yeah, and to your point of typing things out because it's a little bit longer. I feel like things just need a name, right? Like whoever coined donut, which I think was Priz or Smith, calling it a donut, like that went mainstream and everybody started calling it donut. Now everybody knows where donut position is, right? So as long as you label things and then type it out as such or say it on voice, will make play calling easier. But in any case, even if you play freeform, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to try new things. You just have to work on that timing. And that was also another challenge early on. QBs having to adjust to that new timing of routes because now you just can't depend on your receiver hiking it and going at that speed. Now it's up to them to go at the speed you want them to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure. And I think the creating names for things is how things will become memorable, and it's how they kind of do it in the NFL anyway. Everything has a name associated with it. It tells 11 people how to line up.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Like
then
if we were to think
oh,
of
sorry,
like some creative names, like right now, like I think Lem, I heard you call it like a bunch formation, so you could call it like top bunch, bottom
Yep.
bunch. What else is there? There's
Oreo.
split.
I have some.
Yeah.
Yep. Oreo, where you have the wide receiver and running back go on Oreo, the quarterback. So there's one on top and there's one on like below you, right? There's also true I form where you have both of them behind you in I form. So you have like fullback and running back, and then you call the wide receiver a fullback. You have the split formation. I feel you guys are totally correct that it's football junkies that truly love the free form. I love the free form because it gives you more options and creativity to your play calls and stuff like that. The split, the bunch, kind of like what Lemon was saying and what you were saying, and the split, having one top hash or bottom hash. Yeah, so I feel totally that we should be going to free form, and some of the old dogs just gotta go ahead and try it out. You can't go ahead and make a decision on something if you haven't tried it out. And if you haven't tried it out to a certain extent. It's not like just trying it out once and be like, oh, I'm done. It's like, okay. It's kind of like me trying out mustard. I didn't like mustard as a kid. Okay, fun fact. Did not like mustard as a kid. Kept
Do you
trying it.
do you like mustard
Now I
now?
love mustard. Love mustard.
Okay.
Right? Sushi, didn't like it as a kid. Love it. Love it.
yeah, just gotta
So-
keep trying stuff. But I mean, I'm not really a big condiment guy. Back to food topics, but like yellow mustard, like nah, that shit's like boring and like I don't want that
Dijon?
shit.
Dijon?
Hold
You
on,
like
hold
Dijon?
on. I'm
Okay.
fucking getting there.
Okay, I'm fucking ready.
Ketchup, don't like ketchup. Don't like mayo. Fuck all that noise. But for like, give me like a spicy brown mustard, a Dijon, then yeah, I'm eating that shit all day.
What about spicy ketchup?
I mean, if it's like a well prepared like ketchup that might be like homemade or mixed with something else that's like fancier, and not just like shitty ass like tomato sugar water. Yeah, I will ingest it.
Have you ever been to Whataburger? Have you ever had spicy ketchup from Whataburger?
No, we don't have those luxuries up here in the Northeast.
Next time you go south, man, try it out. It's good. Good stuff.
I'll do my best.
But
Yeah. Going back on that topic of the free form, like I think don't worry, I keep us in line. Don't worry, guys.
Good job. Yep. Get us back on track.
Going back to the free form, one of the reasons why I didn't bother to suggest it for this upcoming season was mainly because of the newer experience captains and QBs. I remember back when we first tried how overwhelming it was to learn things, new things and we were already experienced quarterbacks, right? So I could only imagine how much of a challenge it would have been for them to learn this season if we went into free form like that, which is why I think it's best to keep it at the traditional format.
For sure, it's a lot easier. And it's you just got to put the time and effort into it. And to be honest, this is NFL Blitz. It's a 15 to 20-year-old game, and sometimes you just want to come in and have fun and not devote so much time to it because it does. If you're not a football junkie and you don't know football, you don't know formations, then free form can be very overwhelming. And it's okay to call things like from a regular standpoint too. Like if you have just up the middle, right, just reg, you say reg and then go ahead and run normal plays. Like it still
Yeah.
works. So
I called playing normal plays during the tournament too, especially if you're like rushing like in a 2-minute drill. Like you don't always have time to call the longer plays.
yep, reg, wide receiver post up, RS up, right? Just running from the mid. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't like change, especially a lot of people in this community are 30 plus, not me yet. um, and they just don't want change. And it's just like with the fumble and the speed boost, like we all had to adapt to it, but now we love it. And I feel like freeform will be the same thing. It's just adjusting. Do we even put that to a vote for freeform to regular?
No.
We didn't put it to a vote?
No,
Okay.
no.
No, not for this season.
Okay.
I have a take. Curious what you think, Dan.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Give it to me.
And I'm not. Maybe I suffer from recency bias, so maybe I need to take Sin's course on this. But I told this dilemma already. I think that he's showcased to me that he is the best free form quarterback at the moment. Not, and I'm not just going off of that tournament. I do think that Lem and his crossing routes is so annoying that
Yep.
it makes it extra annoying in freeform, and so therefore I'd give Lem the edge at freeform at QB.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I think in pubs, I think in league, Lem will. It's just like when we played him against him in league. I think when you run defenses against Lemnos and give them different looks, I think that's where pub quarterbacks they truly kind of go downhill a little bit, because if you run something like a Hax D, or if you run something like trap and then wherever they're cutting towards, you just go ahead and like if he's running a 90 down, then you cut towards it, or you switch the blitzer to the top one. I think that's truly the kryptonite to Lemnos's offense. But I think for sure, yeah, right now within pubs and people not truly going ahead and calling those defenses, yeah, I think for sure. But I think if he does do that stuff in league, if they do have a good defensive coordinator or someone that truly knows the game, it's going to be a little bit tough for Lem to go ahead and go through, because I feel like Lemnos' biggest thing is that he's really good on defense. He's a solid. I got his catching stuff has gone so much fucking better. Holy shit, it's gone so much better. His juking has gotten better too. But with pressure, I feel like that's me too. Me early on is that pressure can truly eat you up, and if you don't embrace it and don't truly read the defenses, then you'll have a tough time. And once you learn that part of your game and you read the defenses, then your game just goes to the next echelon.
I got a tip for you,
I
Dan.
will say, I definitely got to improve on those things, and I recognize that. But I feel like every single time that you do like a hacks or a 2B, no one on my team actually looks at the mini map and no one goes to it. I'm just sitting there waiting for someone to go, and they're like sitting there doing like some triple move, and then like, oh, you got sacked. What happened? And I'm like, you guys got to go to it.
But that's when you tell them to go to it, right? That's the
But
difference.
I can't
Yeah.
if it's a pub that we're not on voice.
Oh yeah. Well, in pubs, yeah. But that's like when you try to go ahead and just take the sneak, or you like go ahead and try to make a play out of nothing. And that's what differentiates the really, really good quarterbacks to the ones that are still up and coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think so too. I think right now you are the best free form. I just think that there hasn't been that many defenses thrown at you. Like even in our game, when I felt like it was going sideways, like you had the ball within our red zone like 3 to 4 times within the first half, and you only got 10 points. The score was 7-10 in the first half. That's what I told Ocho. I said, Ocho, they only got 10 points, bro. Like we're still in this. When you guys had like 2 turnovers within our red zone, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, red zone offense is tough, though. I think it's the hardest offense to truly go ahead and master.
I haven't seen too much of it, but freeform in the red zone. How was it? Do you guys remember how much scenarios you guys were in the tournament and how effective you were? I think we ran traditional play, so I can't say that, we felt any new things. So I'm curious if you guys ran anything unique and it did it work or not.
I think for me it was actually opened up the playbook a bit, and I felt more comfortable calling stuff in red zone out of freeform.
Okay. How about you, Dan? With Ocho, I know you didn't QB that one, but like just generally speaking, how has freeform red zone been for you? Has it opened up things, made it easier, made it difficult?
I think it opens up the Wildcat tremendously because you have the wide receiver and the quarterback down there already on hike, right? So if you do like a Wildcat bottom, because Ocho and I did this a couple times, where he's just like Wildcat. So, if you 2v1 the bottom person and that blitzer isn't taking an egregious angle to go down or up, then it's so easy touchdown because all that running back's got to do is just get that corner, right? So I feel like that play is pretty broken. But everything else, I feel like the middle, I feel like what Lemnos did is he picked on Gasol a lot in our game. And that's just, picking on the player that's a little bit trying to, get the rust off and not knowing how to spy. He did do, actually, when I told him to go ahead and spy, he did do a good job. And I think that's why Lemnos did. I think Lemnos did a better job in the second half than the first half within the red zone. But yeah, I think
Shame on you,
Wildcats.
lad. Shame on you.
Actually, we can rewatch the game. But I don't think I really went that much on Gasol. The only thing I felt bad about, and this is why I threw an interception towards the end of the game, was like
You
the
ran
sneak
off.
was like always
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you ran on him a lot. You ran on him a lot. You were just running on him, and I was like, that's why I was blitzing you a couple times. That's why I sacked you a couple times. I was like, hey, you just got to go ahead and take an angle, and that's something that he's still learning.
Hey, if
But,
if Lem is able to run on you, I mean, you gotta take that out, man. Like, okay.
Rude.
Um, speaking of the freeform red zone, the only thing I was thinking of while you guys were giving your answers was, I'm gonna have on those tough down scenarios, I'm gonna have two guys line up at the bottom on one hash, right? And then 2v1, my 2v1 is instantaneous.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
unless
yeah.
they're both down there or they put the blitzer down there. How about putting two people at the bottom sideline and just taking a sneak up one? Like if they go ahead and have both of them down low, like if that person spies in the middle, then that person has a wide open sneak up top or up bottom. You know what I mean? Opposite direction.
There you go. Or you could do the similar form you're saying, Dan, except for you run on the same side where the two people are on that hash and two blockers.
Yeah. Yeah, if they don't have both of them down there. Yeah. Yeah. Overload it. Overload. There you
Punch.
go. Or
Yes, sir.
punch.
Overload.
Yeah.
Overload top.
Yeah.
I'm stopping that shit as a
Stop.
blitzer. Easy.
Lem is
Yeah.
crazy with his lem hopping because he could do it on a block as well.
Yeah, we're gonna throw flags on that this season. We're gonna throw flags on that.
There was only like 1.5 instances in last season, and one of them I did it on purpose.
Literally commentated and it was egregious. It was egregious as heck. I was
Which
like,
one?
that's
In
it's
the
what-
championship?
I think it's the playoff.
playoffs. It was the playoffs.
Or not the
and
championship.
yeah, it was like in the backfield and Prism just like I think he just took the sack or something like that, or it was like a run play. And it was
Sometimes
negative
it's-
2 yards.
Sometimes it's too
2,
hard to
3
judge in the moment. So yeah, probably just they didn't know or just wanted to keep the game going.
Yeah. But that's when I feel like, the commentators or whoever's filming it, they gotta truly, let their nuts hang and be like, hey, you can't do that. Because you are the only person that does that. You're the only person that can do that and does that. And it can ruin plays.
You
Some-
just gotta get good. I don't get it.
Some
It's
will,
illegal, Lemnos. It's illegal.
Some
It's
will
breaking
say-
the game.
some will say that he could get his sacks quicker as well through the lem hop.
Yes, I do. I think so because he's on the line. Nobody else can go ahead and be on the line like Lemnos does. When you're on the line like that and you're going ahead and breaking the game or breaking the wall, right when it releases him, he's like a fucking tiger out of a cage, dude. He just boom right on you, and you're like, well, shit. Well, fuck.
You.
Fuck
think
me
we need-
sideways.
I think we need.
QQ.
I think we need to train our O line to be stronger. Lem is just
Yes.
too strong.
We need the Joe Alts. We need more Joe Alts in the blitz world. We need
QQ.
QQ.
All right, Lem. Dan brought in two topics. Do you have a topic for us, or should we just let Dan keep firing at questions at us?
I wanted to bring up a couple quick things. Not quite topics right now, but I will say a topic at the end of my spiel. Sorry,
There it is.
I'm still recovering from COVID.
Oh my
Um,
god.
but so first, the league is starting, or the draft is going to be in almost 1 week from. Well, hold on, what the hell am I saying? Yeah, 1 week from Sunday. So the season's coming up soon. Captains are producing their logos and team names and stuff like that. We're going to be finalizing the rules this weekend. I'll summarize everything that we've voted on so far, and then hopefully we don't need to tie up too many things. But I'll put all that out towards the end of the weekend, and then we can iron out things early on in the week. So those are my season 3 things I want to bring up. Also want to comment on one more thing with the tournament that we had for the Pumpkin Spice Latte tournament. Most people have been paid out. I'm gonna call out Wayne. Wayne has to pay Ocho and Sin. Ocho has PayPal. Get that done, Wayne. This man needs his money. And I'm sure Sin would appreciate it as well. Do you have a
I
retort? You're calling you out?
I've embezzled the money. I
Oh
took
my god.
No, I'm kidding. I actually messaged Ojo prior to this, and yeah, just working things out.
All right, sounds good. We better pay these people.
Sin
And
does Sin doesn't get his money.
Sin's not getting it?
No, I'm kidding. I'll find time. I'll find time
Oh my
to go on this coffee chat with him.
All right, good. And I still need to put my winnings towards a coffee, and then I'll put a picture of my fall drink. I decided to. So there were a couple people that wanted to donate their money. So I've taken those people's money and my quote unquote winnings, which is just my money, and donated it to Doctors Without Borders. It's a pretty good cause.
Nice.
So to do something with the money that's not just like, oh, I'm just sitting on my money now. So helped out a little bit with that. So thanks to those people that decided to donate their money as well.
Thank you, Lem, for hosting that tournament as well. And Lem, since you won that PSL tournament, the next time you go to a coffee shop, what drink will you be ordering?
I'll probably get like some super extra foofy shit, like
What's
like
foofy?
just like extra, like super basic, like all the bells and whistles. So yes, I'll probably get a pumpkin spice latte, but I'll get like, you know, extra like whipped cream and like maybe some sprinkles or like nutmeg and cinnamon powder on top too. So something like that. Just get something extremely extra.
Nice.
So basic white girl shit. That's what you're saying. Should be a
Again,
little basic white girl.
why do you have to be racist about this?
I'm just so
definitely
racist.
number 2 racist in the community.
Yeah, just so racist.
Hold on. Oh wait, are we still talking about these things?
I wanna just make a quick statement about league stuff and then tournament stuff, especially from the administrator standpoint. And you guys going ahead and doing what you guys do. I know it personally. People in the community, if you guys don't have anything fucking nice to say, or if you don't have a conflict resolution, then just shut the fuck up. Okay? It just adds way more drama. If you have a question or whatever the case is, be nice about it. Bring up a question. But if you have no clue how much it takes to go ahead and put a tournament together, put the rules together, put everything together, how much hard work it goes ahead and goes through that effort, and even going ahead and making graphics, all that shit. So you motherfuckers know who you are. Stop being little crybaby back bitches. And literally, just if you have something to say, and if it's not nice or if it's not like gonna go ahead and solve a solution, just suck it up, Buttercup, because it's not needed. There's drama within the pumpkin spice latte. There's always drama within whatever tournament that's ran, because people just get their panties in a gripe. And it's like, come on, man. We're all adults. You guys have no clue how much it takes to go ahead and run these tournaments. And if you do, then go ahead and run it yourself. Love to see it.
Thank you
my
for adding spice to the podcast.
The bricked up.
What's up,
That's
Wayne?
why I'm here.
I was saying that's the energy we needed for the bricked up Blitz podcast.
No, for sure. But I mean, Dan does bring up some good points. Uh, I think if you wanted to have like if you're in like a adult scenario and you're trying to iron stuff out, like you know it's okay to have complaints. Like that's totally fine. It's normal. Like we're not gonna all agree on things, but it is definitely a lot more productive to do it in a way that has like a possible option to solve the problem. Um, so something to keep in mind in the future. There's also a lot of like heated yelling at one another, and like it's totally fine. You can yell at people. You can yell at each other. When people are yelling over each other and online, where you like, there's no way to like stop someone from yelling over one another. Like that's not productive. Nothing's gonna get done. So I don't feel bad about muting people that are yelling over each other. And nothing's gonna get done if you're doing that. So just keep in mind, like if you're gonna yell at each other, go to like a private chat where no one can hear you. Like no one cares. It's stupid. Um, if you're gonna yell in a public forum and someone like me or Wayne is around, I don't know if Wayne will do it, but I'm gonna mute you. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it. So just keep that in mind in the future too.
Yeah, you muted me because I was standing up for you because people were literally just demeaning what you were doing and was basically calling you stupid and illiterate for posting what you posted, which you literally went over the rules before. And when people don't listen, what really pushes me over the edge is that you put all this time and effort, you wrote everything up, right? And then you literally went over it. You literally told everybody, it wasn't like written out, but you literally told everybody before the tournament started, you said, yeah, the standings go by wins, blah, 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 right? It goes by wins first. You literally said that. Ocho confirmed it. And that's what I think sent Ocho, Ocho on Sippy Saturday was litty titty, but that's what sent him over the edge, is that people just didn't listen. And it's like, we're all grown ass men. Let's just be cordial. Just go ahead. And once things are said to you, or, if you are, have a gripe in something, then just go ahead and be like, hey, why don't we do it this way? Right? Not just, oh, this is dog shit. Okay. Well, what's better? Like, give me a better thing besides saying this is just dog shit. Doesn't really help anything.
Totally all about solutions and the democratic process.
Yep.
That reminds me, something that we need to come up with, Lem, and we'll probably need to loop in Money and anyone else that wants to be involved, um, just to make sure that we remain civil and never take it too far personal again. To have some type of community guideline so that if it is crossed, that there's a set of quote unquote rules. Just and I'm not that big on rules, guys, as we talked about before, Dan. But I understand that sometimes lines get crossed, and where we're trying to keep a community as positive as we can. I think that's the best thing for all of us. Just some type of community guidelines.
Yeah, it's definitely needed. Like I am not the, nicest, most prince guy ever, right? I'm very competitive, but that's just it. Like I feel like besides that, like I'm a really nice guy. I feel like, I can also go ahead and talk to you about things and go ahead and find solutions and do that. But like if you don't have anything to go ahead and like a guide, is what you said, then people are just going to abuse it and treat people like shit or ruin games for other people and just create this toxic culture, which, we're all fucking toxic. Like all of us are. All three of us are, within our own ways, and we just kind of embrace it. It's kind of like embracing the suck in the military or as a nurse or as an EMT or whatever job you have, and you kind of make jokes of your shitty situation, right? That's what Blitz is. Oh, you fuck tier 5 motherfucker. Whatever it is, right? You just talk shit to each other. But at the end of the day, we got to realize we should be all bros. We shouldn't take it to the extent where you're personally attacking somebody or demeaning somebody or just being so ungrateful for certain situations. Like that's when it's like, dude, like you don't know how much Lemnos put into this and Wayne put into this. Configuring these rules, going ahead and going back and forth, with the community. Like it takes so much time and brain power. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing is just like, trying to make sure you write everything down that you're thinking of in the moment. It's just hard to like, because you think you understand everything and you think you wrote everything down, but you can't get it all down on paper.
This sounds like work, Lem. This sounds like documentation at work.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Nobody likes doing that.
Fuck no, dude. I did that shit while I was in the Navy, man. I did policies and all that stuff. And then so when you're doing rules for attorney, like you got to get the verbiage down, because if there's any hiccup, like if there's anything that happens pertaining that, it's like the second attorney I had, right? There's like a little confusion, and just with the PSL attorney, there's a little confusion, right? So if you like don't have it straight up black and white, even though that you explained it beforehand, you might get shot in the ass. And you're just like, oh shit. Well,
I will say though, and even if some of my rules weren't explicit or clear, they did say both options for the possible like bracket finals or whatever. It said 3 games total for both scenarios, so that was always there in writing. So it was it was always there. But I want to lead this into the next topic, since we're talking about spice and everything nice. Obviously, there was the hiccup from earlier on in the season. We don't need to hash that out from season 2, but what we can talk about, I think, now is how you have been feeling since coming back, and not in your commissioner role, but more just being able to play and chill with a lighter heart.
I'll always have fire and passion in my heart. I think that's one of my best qualities about myself, is I always bring fire and passion. I always stand up for myself. I always stand up for the little guy that's getting picked on. I feel like that's what truly makes me a good leader within the roles that I've had within life. But within Blitz, man, it's just playing the game. I just love playing the game. Especially not having to go ahead and do as much stuff for the league, or basically do any of the stuff for the league. That's why I value both of you guys. I know how much work it is. I know how much work it is to go ahead and deal with the site and update the site, go ahead and put out content, make different graphics, keep everybody kind of under one shell, kind of go ahead and contain everything, because you're not going to go ahead and appease everybody, right? It's just not going to happen. But containing the wildfires that do happen within the community and within the league, within myself now, is just trying to go ahead and be there for you guys as a branch, and then just play. Just straight up play. Think of new stuff. If I'm a quarterback, think of new stuff. If I'm a running back, I like blitzing, even though Lemnos, every time I play with Lemnos, he keeps on taking my blitzing spot. But I actually like blitzing. I think it's fun. I think it's fun getting to know people's role patterns and then just picking on them or their tendencies. I feel like blitzing is huge on that, and you can take advantage of that. That's why I got a lot of picks within the season, or got a lot of sacks depending on who I'm blitzing. But yeah, I feel I'm in a better headspace now too. March is a PTSD month for me. I had a lot of stuff that happened in March in my past. Everybody has their dark space, and that's when I was yelling at people a lot, but yeah, as I feel like as a player, it's easy day.
It's good that you're just able to come on, play. You don't have to worry about, whether it's you have to worry about doing administrative things like for league duties, or trying to, like you said, put out fires or deal with people that you don't want to be dealing with, or people's problems that you don't necessarily want to be dealing with. So I'm glad you're able to hang out with the community with a better headspace overall.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love that shit. Like, I love going ahead and just like with NFL Blitz and the echelons that I took to go ahead and facilitate things within the first league, going ahead and creating all the logos, creating all the channels, giving you guys all content within the Discord, within the emojis, and with the website and doing all that stuff. Like, I love that. I'm a huge person where I do a lot more for other people than myself, and that's what I'm trying to actually reflect on. Is that I'm trying to go ahead and just do stuff for myself now, better myself within my career, my body, my mentals, and stuff like that. I always usually put other people in front of me within different projects that I've had, or even refing my past tournaments, my orgs, all that. I really care about people and I want the best for people, and I try to go ahead and give them the best avenue for them. But I realized in this community, there's some people that just don't deserve that. And when I left commissioner, I realized, with the whole entire Triple T thing, I was like, if I leave, then the league will not die, right? If I leave, even though that there was some really fucked up things that were said, the league won't die, right? So it was more of, okay, I'll leave. I don't want to deal with some of the toxic man babies that we have within this community, but the league won't die. And even though that we didn't get as many signups this league, at least we still have a league.
Yeah, no, and like it's good that we can be here. We still have a bunch of people. We have new signups in the community. We have new captains. I think we might have a few fewer people overall, but like I think we still have a pretty healthy amount. But yeah, overall, it's good that we can continue doing this, and hopefully we can continue to do it longer.
Yeah, I think guys like Sin, Krusty,
Oh yeah.
and I know Squid's been here forever, so I know we keep bringing him up, but like to see them be engaged as we once were at that level and maybe still are, that's refreshing to see for sure. And we just need more guys like them, right? Nito's another great one where
Oh yeah.
I swear he's coming off work and he spends the night with us playing until whenever he does, and he plays more than just Blizz with us too now. So he's very much coming into his own for this community as well.
Hold on. Speaking about new people, can we talk about Dusty? You guys were able to just beat Metal Slug due to him.
That's Wait, is that Dusty? No,
I
that's
think
not.
that's not.
No,
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 that's Rage.
Oh,
that's Rage.
Rage. Oh, Rage is not Dusty. I thought Rage was Dusty.
No, no,
No.
no. Rage was he only had played one Blitz game prior to today, and that was a crusty recruit, I believe. And no, he's very new. He only joined the server earlier this week. He's a fan of the Korean soccer map and NBA. So if you guys are interested in playing games with like that with him, go for it. His name is Rageaholic, and yeah, he's a definitely a SE gamer because he showed us a map yesterday called the Platforming Beans, and that game is hard and he made it look easy. So he's a gamer.
Right. Yeah, and we also have Dusty, who's played like one or two Blitz games, so he's also around. We still got some new people signing up, which is great.
Yeah, shout out to all the new accounts that Cuddy made for Jeff as well. Good job, Cuddy. I'm making that $100.
Let's go back to Cressy and Sin real quick, okay? Those guys are little blitz sluts, and I love it. We need more blitz sluts that literally are just like, hey, post and blitz, let's blitz, and then trying to go ahead and get better from it. Like going ahead, just like what John said, is embracing the game that we love. Those guys are really good for the community, and they're really, really solid guys. I know Sin catches a lot of flack. But I think that's just because he's just a lovable guy and he's a good guy and he's
so
always
heavy,
here.
and so heavy.
So yeah, and he's
heavy.
catching flack, but yeah, he's gotten better. He's less heavy on my shoulders. I think he can only win. What was it? Win with me or Prism's the only teams that he can go ahead and win on. I think that was in his little Pokemon thing.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Um,
Shots fired at us, Len. He's won.
No,
He's won with us recently.
maybe he's been sabotaging us this whole time.
He likes to call it inting us.
Yeah, which
There
doesn't
you
make
go.
sense. No one says that.
That's what I'm saying, but apparently it's a Zoomer word.
Oh, fucking Zoomers. Um, all right, I think I have my final question. I think Wayne and Dan, you guys might have a couple other things, but Money recently added, and he's going to be adding some more exciting stuff, but I won't divulge that information. But he recently added colors for jersey colors, and we might be also getting some updates on that too, relative to what he's done. But it seems like everyone's excited about them. Some colors might need to get replaced by some others. But how are you guys feeling about the colors and possibly teams being able to use those colors throughout the entire season?
You go first,
John?
Dan.
Okay. I don't know if the vote is like this, and that's where I'm a little misconstrued, like where I'm a little confused. Because in the vote it says how jersey colors should work: home team and away team, always their color of choice, or home team their color. Away teams always stays the same. So does that mean that away teams always got to be blue?
No, so that can be like they can be whatever color is agreed upon that's always away. So like in real football or real sports, like white is like always
Okay.
away. But
Okay.
it could be blue, it could be brown, whatever like we decide as
Okay.
a community.
So I think whatever their team color is, so like Sens is like what, black or gray or whatever the case is, like whatever their team color is, they play as that the whole entire season. So if they're white, like if we have multiple of yellows, then that can kind of throw things off. But they agree on something where they have like maybe two team colors, and they're just that color throughout the whole entire season. And I feel like that will less throw people off too, because when you're not used to that color on the mini map, it can totally like throw you off. Um, and yeah, I think that would be my best solution. Probably is like if since team the heavy hitters are white, and then whatever Jeff's team is orange, then you just play that the whole entire season. That would be
Yeah.
my suggestion.
I think I agree with that. I think I wanted to have like I would prefer if everyone just kept their colors. So if Jeff's team is orange, he could be orange as home or away.
Yep.
Because then you have your own color. Every team has their own color. I don't like the only stipulation is that you can't have two teams have the same color. So two
Yep.
teams both can't be orange in this scenario. But a lot of it seems like the voting is shaking out that they would prefer the away team to always be one color. So whether that be white or whatever, and then the home team retains their color. Maybe because that is more reminiscent of real sports. But I think it'd be cooler to have everyone be their own color, home or away. But that's my opinion. Anyway, Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first, Money and Ultraviolet, great additions. Love it. I remember we asked for this sometime end of season 1 or beginning of season 2, so very nice to see that you take our suggestions seriously and incorporate it to the game whenever you can. Number two, yeah, I'm indifferent about the colors, like whether it's home and away that you get to use that color all season. I think that you know I'm personally indifferent, but I could understand why. Um, I would understand why um, somebody may not want it to get too colorful right immediately. So like that compromise of having the away team just always be a default color, whether it be white or another color. That would be a good transition if we were like almost 50-50 or 60-40, whatever the vote is. I don't know what the vote is, but if it's that close, then we could probably compromise with the default, like the home team, sorry, away team having an easier color or default color. But yeah, I'm excited to see the colors though. The colors of next season will be very cool. It's been a long time coming since we've seen any type of customizations. So yeah, I love it. I don't know which one color is my favorite though. You guys have a favorite color?
I don't know. I did like black, and I forget if it's more than squid that has problems with it. I think more than one people complained about it. But I
I don't like
really, I really like black.
I don't like it. Looks like little lumps of coal. Yeah, yeah.
I
Look
don't
like
have.
little dark poops, like little black poops.
Hmm.
Just like brown. Brown don't look good too.
I think you need more fiber, Dan.
Yeah, that's true.
What
It's
I
just when I ate the Taco Bell, you know.
what I
Yeah.
would say though
Uh,
is, like, in terms of customization colors, not that brown and black are similar. I feel like in pub games, anyways, I've seen it be used the least amount of times. Same with the blue and the blue cyan one, whatever. Of course, we already talked about how one of the cyan one needs to get removed, but I think the brown or the black also maybe need to get removed. I haven't seen that get used too often in the game.
yeah,
Um,
I like white, but to go back to the vote real quick, it's 70-30 for the home team, their color, and the away team is always the same. But I feel like the first choice is a little bit confusing because with what we just talked about and then with what I just said, like it says home team and away team always their color of choice. I feel like they can choose. That means they can choose any color they want throughout the whole entire season. You know, so if there's a vote for like what I just said that they have their own color throughout the whole season, then I think it might change the way that they vote because I just feel like that would be better because if you're the Luminous Luminance and you're yellow throughout the whole entire time, right? You're the soft yellow. Like you always want to be yellow. You know? You don't want to be fucking white. You don't want to be the way team white, you know?
No, I agree. I agree. Maybe it's not clear in the vote or in the poll option, but yeah, I agree. I think it'd be better to have your color home or away the whole season.
we could also, like, if people don't like the white as the default away team, we could also make a league vote for what default color should it be then, or of all the remaining colors, which of the default ones do we have? Um, the only situation I find funny, if we allow teams to use home or away whenever they want for their unique color, is somebody chose teal and they're away and they're on teal, and I think that would be the biggest adjustment, not the random
Yeah.
colors. It'll be teal
Oh,
being
that'd be
away.
confusing. Yeah,
Or blue, or alternatively, blue is on the home team.
I
yeah.
honestly think people think the second option, that's why I voted for the second option, is what I proposed or what I said. You know? I feel like that's what people think. I don't know. You guys can go ahead and let us know in the locker room chat after you guys listen to this podcast. I know we're wrapping up things here, but
Hmm.
I feel like that's what they think is that that's just going to be, they're just going to be the same colors throughout the season. So that's the way I read it. But
So, of all the colors that we've seen, what's a color that we know that StarCraft is capable of producing from the chart that Lem shared, or what you know of already, Dan? What color would you like to see that we don't have right now?
oh, I love what did I say? I love that mint looking color, like that olive green. I think
Oh
it was
no, it
called
wasn't olive. It was I liked
pale
olive
green.
green. You
Pale
Pale,
liked
yellow?
no,
No?
it
pale
was
green,
pale green. It looked like a
navy.
minty color.
Uh,
Yeah, I like the pale green. I like the navy, and I like the. Do we have the dark aqua right now?
The dark aqua is what we call dark cyan, and that's the one that just looks like blue.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, the bluish gray looks cool too.
The
I like
real
the bluish
cyan
gray.
one looks more turquoise, which we don't have right now.
Yeah, that would be a
Yes,
good color.
that would be a good
And
color.
gotta give credit where it's due. It was Duxer that found that picture.
Hmm.
The leader of the Coward Clan. It's my guy,
Yeah.
my man.
What about you, Lem? Any colors that you wish to see added?
I mean, it's so stereotypical. It's so racist. But I need that olive green. Like one, the color looks sick, and two, like olives. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lem, but I'm actually not a fan of olives.
Same here, dude. I'm not a
Of
fan of olives. My
course.
girl ripped
Oh
me.
my God, we got these people don't know. They don't know the truth.
Oh, I've tried it.
Someone,
I've tried it.
yeah.
Just not a fan of it.
Someone, someone told me that they put. My girl was telling me that she puts olives on their was it hamburgers and steak. I was like, no, 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 we
Hmm.
no, no.
Well, we got to talk about something. Is it black olives or like actual good olives? Because black
I
olives,
I
like out
did
of the
not get in
can.
that depth. Yeah, I
All
did
right,
not
no,
get that
no,
depth.
no.
Yeah.
Black olives, straight ass. Like if you're talking about black olives, to me, that's not what I'm talking about. And if you're assuming your taste for olives is based on those black olives, then we're not on the same page. We're not talking about those. Those aren't olives. Those are shit.
Talking
What, you
green
gotta-
olives. Green
yeah.
olives are
No,
tasty.
no. We're talking brined olives, like Kalamata olives or some
Mm.
green olives, stuff like that. We're not talking the black olives that are in a can. That's just that are chopped up into shitty slices and stuff like that. We're
Mhm.
not talking about that.
Okay, but like on a hamburger or steak or hot dog, like I can't imagine it. Like I get it in salads. I get it on what would it be good on? Pizza. Like I get it on those two things, right? Like I get it.
No, you're still talking about the fucking black olives. Like that's the only thing that goes on. That's the only thing that goes on pizza. Is the shitty black olives. We're not talking about that, Dan. You got to do some homework.
But why would you put it on burgers? Like you would put but I get that flavor
No,
profile
all right.
on pizzas and
No,
salads.
oh my god.
But I don't
No,
get
no.
it. I don't get it.
You get a salty brined olive. You put it into a paste. You put it on a burger. That shit's gonna be fire, and you're gonna like it.
I don't know. I guess I can't hate it till I try it. I guess I can't
Yeah,
be that person.
you
I
can't.
just can't. I don't know. Guess I gotta try it. Guess I can't hate it.
Yep. All right. Sorry. Anyway, back to I like the olive color green.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we're past our hour and a half. Are we done? Are we done,
Yeah.
Coach?
Yeah, we're at an hour and 45, but I feel like, people will probably want to hear you, Dan, in terms of the spicy questions. So we're going to wrap things up, but, just give me a chance if you do have a question here, Dan. What's one spicy question from each of us, if you have one?
To ask you guys?
In general, it could be about us. It could be about anything. You've heard the
Okay.
previous episodes. It could be any question you want.
Okay. Lem, are you fed up with Tony's shit or no? Are you fed up with the shit?
There it is.
So I can get some pretty upset from some things that he does. Like it was like last week or something. Like he was just shitting on me, and I was just like, all right, I don't think I deserve this. So like that kind of stuff is frustrating. And sometimes like on defense, I don't really know what he's doing. He gambles, and then he like will blame me for not covering his deep when I was I would do my own thing, but he gave up something. So like that's on you too. But for the most part, I'm not sick of him or anyone in the community really. And I think especially like it's behind closed doors sort of thing. I think like Tony acts like a differently in a good way. I think his personality is on a different display in the full-on pub settings.
No, yeah. I think you said it really well in the previous podcast. Is that you have some strong personalities. I have a strong personality. Priz has a strong personality. Tony has a strong personality. There's some others out there, but with Tony, and I think me too, is that if we have strong personality about something, we usually get over with it in like a second, right? I think Tony's just gotta like when I told him the other day, like, hey, dude, like, don't worry, but like, hey, dude, just when you get someone to go ahead and kind of nudge you a little bit, they get off of that person. Because I remember that game, and I remember like talking. I think it was me, you, and Wayne, and I was like, why are you allowing him to talk to you this way? I was like, right, why are you allowing him to talk to you this way? And then he started like kind of backing off because I do think Tony's a good guy. I just think that he does it like, what is it? Unconsciously? Is that the word that I'm looking for? Subconsciously? Yeah. He does it without like meaning for it to be like negative or toxic or bad. I think that's Tony's personality. But okay. Wayne, do you have any comments on that or no?
Comments
Do you want
about
me to ask
that?
you a question?
No, I think
any comments?
not about the question that you just had. Yeah, Lem, sorry, I don't have a question right now. Lem, do you have one?
No, I don't think I think my spiciest question was about the colors.
Nice.
No, I do like the question about how did Dan feel about coming back for sure.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I do have a spicy question for Wayne. Hit
me up while I think of one.
Okay. How do you feel about your status in the game right now? Do you think that people overrate you, or rate you correctly, or underrate you? because I feel like there's a mixture of people rating you right now, and I feel like people think that you're either number one or you're overrated. What do you got to say about that?
I think I asked Krusty that question again. But no, okay, about myself, I never cared. I honestly, truly don't care about whether I feel like I'm the best or not. All I can say is I'm confident in how I played the game. Um, Nobody's opinions will change that about like how I view and play the game. Um, I just enjoy having fun playing the game that we played for so many years. To still be playing it and see it evolve from what it was once to what it is now, thanks to Money Ultraviolet's efforts. So I truly do not care whoever labels me, whether they put me as the best or overrated. I'll take that as flattery. But like I said in one of the other episodes, I really don't need to speak up about myself. I'll let the game do the talking for myself. Um, Now, I will say that if you want to, for anyone that wants to learn the QB, wide receiver, or running back, whatever, and they want to ask me questions, I'll definitely share what I know about the game. I don't think I'm the only guy that you could reach out to, but I will help where I can. Um, and then you also have to be realistic about what you can do, right? Like based on like Lem scrolling his screen from one side to another and not looking at his unit, can he realistically be better at juking without looking at his unit? I don't think so. So those are like things that he could fix. But I'm just saying, like, everyone's got like sometimes limitations. But I think, yeah, like all I'm trying to say is if you want to learn the game or try to be better and if you think I'm decent at the game, then you can hit me up. But yeah, in terms of my own status in the game, like honestly, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't.
That one was kind of soft. That was kind of a soft question. I kind of gave you a layup there, and I think I need to be more spicy because you gave such a PR answer. So I'm going to
What
give you
is
something a little bit more spicy, okay?
okay?
Why do you keep on ducking Sin? Okay, you live in the same city. You guys could go on a double date, but you guys haven't met up yet. Like, what the fuck, man? When are you guys going to meet up?
Dan,
What the fuck?
if you knew what I knew about Sin, you wouldn't want to, you wouldn't want to go near that guy. He's just so heavy. He uh he is I'm afraid for myself. Um, the
Wait, is he
last
gonna
couple,
smother you?
huh?
Is he gonna smother you?
He's gonna smother me. He's gonna the last couple of days. Then there's this. I'm not gonna go into detail about who she is or what she does, but there's this Elise girl that he DM'd on StarCraft,
Yes,
and
yes,
you
yeah,
don't want to know
yeah.
what extent that
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
went to. But anyways, no. And speaking about ducking, I had never ducked since. I the day when I went to some dog festival during the playoff time. I told Sin if he wanted to come out, and you ask him who ducked who.
Oh, damn,
Oh,
dude. Wow.
But
Well,
anyways,
y'all gotta make that happen, man. You guys live in the same
I,
city. You
I
guys have girlfriends and shit. Y'all gotta make that happen.
I owe him a Lem's $10 PSL prize anyway, so maybe he'll get a IRL coffee from me.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah,
That's all I
but
got. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you guys a lot for everything you guys do for this community and as people. So
fuck
there,
you.
there it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
fuck you. And everybody that listens to this fucking podcast, go ahead and type fuck you in locker room chat and go ahead and add us, okay? That shows us love.
yep,
Love and how much you care about us.
yep. All right, guys. Thanks, Dan, for joining us. Thanks for joining us, T2 quarterback or receiver. Um, I'm kidding, Dan. No, for all the ones that don't know, Dan is truly a T1 QB. His receiver can be a little bit suspect sometimes, but from more games than not, it'll be on point. So, anyways, yeah, this was great. I wish, Dan, I do regret that. I wish I had prepared some spicier questions for you, but unfortunately, I'm a little distracted, so I didn't have any. But I will have some for you another time.
Sounds good. I think we talked about a lot of spicy stuff. And hey, Rook, Krusty, you said that shit on this podcast, okay, motherfucker? And I won't let you go ahead and go off of it, okay? But you're doing good. You're listening. You're getting better, and that's all I could ask for. So much love, much love. I am a shitty player, man. I just suck, Even though that, I moss everybody, I think Wayne and I go back and forth, but yeah, this is a fun podcast, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Lem, any final words?
No.
All right, then. We're signing out, guys. GG's. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Lem. Until the next one.
Thank you.